Officer Ward. My first question is, what do polices do and why are they important?
Well, what we do is we're here to serve and the community, and we protect and we also serve the community in different aspects of education, other resources, and what was the other part? Why are they important?
Yes.
Okay, so they're important because they tie with the community and keeping everybody harmoniously happy and safe. So that is our purpose, is to serve and make sure everyone is safe.
How does your routine look like?
My daily routine? Okay, so I'm in a different capacity right now, but generally what the routine looks like is you get up in the morning, you go to work, and we work 12-hour shifts. So we start our shifts at 6 a.m. and we work till 6 p.m. So during that time frame, we're on patrol. So we're in our police cars and we belong to a shift. A shift is like a family. So there's like 6, 8, 10 people on one shift. And then we're assigned to different parts of the city. And so if something happens in the city, let's say a collision, maybe somebody's house is being burglarized, or maybe somebody's, doing something bad, like they're stealing things, then we listen to the radio, because when something happens, people dial 911, and then they tell us where to go, and they tell us what, basically a synopsis of what's going on, so then we go and investigate and try to help and eliminate any kind of problems or threats. That's kind of our daily routine, and we do it from 12 hours, a 12-hour day. That's a long time.
That is a long time. It's about half of the day.
That's half the day.
If you think of it, because 12 times 2 equals 24.
That's right.
Anyhow, what kind of crimes do you deal with?
We deal with all kinds of crimes. So we deal with people crimes. People crimes could be something like maybe an assault where somebody strikes or hurts physical harm against somebody. Or we could deal with property crimes, which is maybe somebody decides to illegally enter in somebody's property and steal things that don't belong to them. So we deal with both people crimes and property crimes.
Oh, okay. It's pretty interesting. It's cool. And do you work in, like, how does the police station run?
Okay, so that's a great question. So the police station runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never closes. There is someone always at the police station. There are dispatchers there. There are animal services officers there who deal with animals like dogs or cats or other problems that may arise from animal situations. And then we have police officers there. So 24/7, somebody's always at the police station, and we're always available for the general public.
That's because there may be a burglar any time of the day.
Any time of the day. So if you think it's Sunday morning at 3 or 6 o'clock in the morning is a very quiet time, generally it is, but that doesn't mean that something still can happen bad.
Because that's where some people may go up to school, but it's also a time where people can be robbed while they're asleep.
They could, or somebody like you mentioned, school.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do, in the summertime, sometimes we do have people go to the schools when the schools are in summertime and it's closed, but they want to hang out at the school, and then sometimes they maybe gain access into the school and kind of run around the school, and maybe they might do something that they shouldn't be doing inside the school.
Yeah.
So anything can happen at any time, but we're also available because when someone calls 911, it comes straight to our police department. So here in Leander, if you have a medical emergency, if you have a car accident, you have maybe damage to your house because somebody damaged it, and you dial 911, it always goes to the police station. So we then dispatch fire, if it's a fire, or we dispatch the EMS or the medical authorities to help. But a lot of times we will get there first before the fire personnel or before the medical personnel. So sometimes, let's say if there's a medical condition where somebody's having a heart attack, we might be the first ones there, and generally we are. So then we can start CPR before the actual medical get there, and then they take over. So, yeah.
Oh. What does CPR mean?
CPR, okay, so CPR is a pulmonary resuscitation. So if someone has a heart attack, their heart stops beating for a while, so then we have to do compressions on their chest. So that's what CPR is. So you see when they do like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes we get there first.
That is true. So, because I've always wondered, how do you know which place you're dialing 911 to if you accidentally call the fire station when you need medical?
Yeah, it all comes to us. Now here's something cool that a lot of people don't know in Leander. So if you dial 911, it goes to the police station, like I said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to call the police because, let's say you want to do an interview with me, you can call the non-emergency number, and the same person that answers that number is the same person that answers 911. So it's the same dispatcher. So let's say you decide to call the police department because maybe your water's off and you don't know what happened. So you dial the police department, the 512-528-2800. The person that picks up that phone and says, "Hello, Leander Police Department," that's the same exact person that's going to handle the 911 call. So if you dial 911, they automatically ask you, is this an emergency? Because if you say, no, my water's not working in my house, and they say, okay, please hang up so we can keep this 911 call open and call me on the other line in case somebody really needs to use the 911 call for an emergency only.
Yeah, because 911 is most of an emergency, not for a water emergency.
Correct, right.
But there would still be.
Yeah, although not having water in your house is a pretty big emergency too, because you got to wash dishes and clothes and take a shower.
But that would be a lesser emergency.
Exactly. Yes, you're absolutely right.
So before I move on to the next question, I have one more question.
Okay.
Do you like when you get a group to work, do you actually switch the work?
Well, okay. Let me. I don't know if I quite understand what you're asking.
What I'm saying is, you have something to do.
Okay.
And so there's a police officer who dials 911, who gets those calls.
Okay.
In the police station, do you switch jobs?
No, we're always police officers, but we switch jobs in helping each other.
Yeah, like that's what I meant.
Yes.
I had a question about that. Okay, also, so do you work in teams?
Yes. It's all teamwork, and law enforcement is nothing but a lot of several teams put together. So example would be, we have a SWAT team. Do you know what SWAT is?
No.
Okay, SWAT, it stands for Special Weapons and Tactical. So these officers are regular police officers like me, right? They're patrol officers, they do a daily job. But if there's a major situation where there's a crisis or a threat to society, like an active shooter, then we have a SWAT team, and these guys are trained. Then they take off their patrol hat and they put on their SWAT hat, and then they work as a team to help eliminate and save lives and prevent any kind of harm or danger. And then we have collision teams, which these officers are, all they do is help with people with collisions, and they do the collision reports, and they help the people that are injured. And so we have those teams. We also have a group of officers that work as a team, which are school resource officers. And those officers are always in the schools. So they're at Leander Middle School, they're at Glenn High School, they're in the schools every day. So there's a bunch of separate teams all over in law enforcement. So yes, we work in a lot of teams.
Do you have a dog, like a police dog or a partner?
We do. We have a canine officer, and he has a dog. His name is Cody. And Cody is a dog that specializes in detecting narcotics. So dogs have strong sense of smell, right?
Yes.
So he can smell illegal drugs, but he's also a safety dog in that he will help us apprehend aggressive, violent, dangerous people. He can go and help in those types of situations. So he serves two purposes.
So, what is some equipment that all of the police officers use from day to day?
Day to day. Okay, so the most stuff that we use day to day is our cars and our radio. That's really the most things we use. We have a lot of tools on our uniform. So right, so we use those tools when necessary. So we have like handcuffs, a radio, maybe we have a pepper spray or what we call OC spray, and those are good against like, you know, dangerous situations or animals or people. Of course, we have a firearm, and then we have other things such as tourniquets. Because remember I was telling you that sometimes we show up on scene on a big bad collision before the fire and EMS get there.
Yeah.
So if somebody's bleeding profusely or a lot, and it's in fear that they may lose their life because they're losing so much blood, we have tourniquets so we can stop that bleeding to save their life before the EMS people and the fire personnel get there to help them. So that's another resource that we carry on our person. We always carry a pad, a pen. Let's see, what else? I think that's pretty much it. A flashlight. We always have a flashlight.
Yeah, because police work in the night too.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like if you were wearing your suit
Or uniform.
Or uniform. Yeah.
You like. Could you tell me a bit about your uniform? That if you would wear it, how would it be? And
Okay. So yes, we wear a uniform. So we have a shirt similar to this, and then we have this outer vest. So this outer vest is a protective carrier, and I didn't bring it, but it's very thick, and it's made to resist bullets. So like if someone was to shoot at us, we have protection on our upper torso. We also have hats or helmets. And then we have all those other tools that I talked about. You know, the handcuffs and the radio and all that. All of that stuff can weigh up to about 20 pounds that we're wearing, which just gets very heavy and hot.
it is, like, especially in this weather.
Yeah,
More suited for winter.
that's true. It feels good in winter.
Yeah.
It's still cold, but it feels better.
How do you earn those badges?
How do we earn the badges? Okay, so this badge right here it takes a lot to earn this badge. But ultimately, when you earn the badge, you're earning the trust of the community, okay? So to earn a badge, you have to go through a police academy, and it could take up to 7 months to close to a year to complete. And then you get certified and you take a test and you're licensed with the state of Texas, and now you're a peace officer. And then when you get hired onto a police department, then you have to continue your education in learning the laws, because the laws change every 2 years. So now we have to make sure we're up to date with all the laws. And then so we're constantly studying, taking tests. We're working on our proficiency of driving, because we sometimes have to drive at very fast rates of speed.
Yeah, because they have a lot of emergencies.
Exactly. And then we have to do firearms training, which is going to the range, and we train on how to use our weapons. So it could be all kinds of weapons like pepper spray, taser, firearm, rifle, less lethal shotgun, which a less lethal shotgun is like a shotgun. It's a real shotgun, but it doesn't shoot shotgun shells. It shoots little small rubber type pellets or bean bags, really. And those are to help stop a threat. And so we do a lot of training, a lot of studying. We take a lot of tests. In fact, I was taking a test before I came here because I have to take a test all the time with the state to keep our proficiency and licensing stuff. So, yeah.
Oh.
So it never ends. You're always learning.
Could you please tell me a funny story from your experience of being a police officer?
Let me think if I can think of a funny story. Think of
Or
one.
maybe a challenging incident.
Yeah, I can't think of one right now. Let me think about it, and I'll come back to that one.
Okay. I've heard that a lot of police cars aren't like regular household cars. Could you please tell me about them?
Yes, you're right. You got good information because you're absolutely right. So our police cars that we have, it has a lot of gear in it. It's a very heavy car. And it's got 2 batteries that run the car. Like if you were to get a car and buy a car, you would have 1 battery. But we have actually 2 batteries that run all our gear. So we have, a police car is basically a roaming office. So we have a laptop in there with a computer that we communicate with dispatch and other agencies. We have a radio. We have the back part of the car where if we arrest somebody and take them to jail, we put them in the back seat. So there's a cage that separates them from us so that we're safe, so that they don't do anything bad to us. And then in the back trunk, we have a lot of gear. We have traffic cones, we have tourniquets, we have safety kits, we have ballistic vests, helmets. We have all kinds of gear that you would never think that we would use, but we do.
Of course.
Right.
Because
It's a lot of gear.
Yeah.
And those cars move really, really fast. They drive faster than other cars.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they turn on the siren and then that's when they can pass it.
Yes.
Without being a police in a jail.
Correct, yeah.
In a police station.
They're very heavy cars, but they're very quick and fast. But they're not exempt. They're not exempt. So that's why we have to go to school to learn how to drive them, because
if we go too fast,
then,
well,
right,
of course.
there's not a safety bubble around that car. So we have to know how to drive them safely because they go very fast so that we don't hurt ourselves or anyone else.
Yeah, because of course in a red light, a lot of ones pass. But it could pass really quick while the other car is trying to
That
come.
is correct, if the lights and sirens are on, yes. You're right.
So,
I'm still thinking of a funny story. You're asking some great questions, so thank you.
I'm sure Mr. Ward must have a lot of challenging situations that he had dealt with.
Yeah,
So you can ask those, he must have plenty of them.
challenging, yes. Probably some of our most challenging ones are trying to calm everybody down. So, like nighttime, sometimes there's disturbances, and so we need to go and make sure, though people will call 911 and say there's a disturbance, these people are fighting or arguing in this house. And sometimes we go and people are injured. So those are challenging because we have to separate the people that are fighting, calm them down, make sure that there's no weapons that they can hurt themselves or us, and then we got to treat the people that are injured and give all that information back to the dispatcher, because then we're requesting the fire and EMS to help the people that are injured. So yes, it's very challenging. Those are probably very challenging situations.
yeah, that's probably is. It's hard to, if you were, well, a person, like, if you were to lead someone, or like if you were to if you were to work in a team and then suddenly something wrong happens and then everyone starts fighting like, yeah, no, you did this and you did this.
Yes.
And then they start getting injured and they start crying and it's all,
Right.
I'm out of breath.
So we work as a team. So let's say maybe you're my partner.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're my partner, and we both get dispatched because you're in your car and I'm in my car, and we get dispatched to a situation. So you and I come into the house or the building or the business, and then we already work together, so we already know we can work well as a team. And you may say, hey, go talk to them, I got this part. I'm like, okay, I trust you, so you're gonna do that, and I'm gonna do what you told me, and then we come back together and we collaborate, and we figure out what we need to do. So yes, it's all about teamwork. You're right.
Can I see your police card now?
Absolutely.
Or maybe after you're done. Or maybe after you're done asking all of your questions.
You have some great questions. I'm still trying to think of a funny story. Oh, I do have one.
Oh.
Okay, so this scared me. I remember it was like a Saturday afternoon, and it was a 2-story house, and somebody said that they thought that they saw individuals go into this house, and they didn't live there. And then the information that was given to us is the people that live in that house were on summer vacation, so they weren't even home. Okay? What it was the people that were on vacation, they called a friend to come over and take care of their cat. Okay?
Yeah.
But they didn't give that information to the neighbor. So the neighbor thought that these people were coming in to burglarize the house. So the person that came, they took care of the cat, and then they left. Now, there had been a long period of time when the neighbors were thinking, should we call the police? No, we don't want to bother them. But we should probably call them because maybe they stole something. But no. So they took a long time. It wasn't like it happened right away.
Yeah.
It was like maybe several hours later, they decided, no, we better call the police. So the incident happened in the morning. By the time they decided to call, it was in the afternoon.
Oh.
So I rolled up to the house, and the dispatcher said that somebody was found to be inside the house, but they didn't say that it happened in the morning. They made it sound like it was happening now. So my partner came, and they said, hey, I'll help you. I said, good. So we decided, well, we didn't decide, we needed to come to the house, inside the house, because the door was open, okay? So we take out our guns, and we start going through the house, and we go room by room by room. Nothing was found in the bottom of the downstairs. The upstairs, we decided to go up there because we had to check it out. When we got to one bedroom, there was a bed that had a large blanket, a blanket with a large item underneath the blanket, and it looked like it was a small child laying under a blanket.
But it was a cat.
It was a cat. So it was a cat that fell asleep on the bed. So when I reached over to pull the blanket, the cat got scared and went, "Wow!" And it scared me, and it scared my partner, and we were like, oh my God. And it was the cat that was just running all over the place. But there was no burglary, it was just a cat.
Oh.
That was kind of funny because we both got scared.
And the person who's taking care of it went inside.
Well, the person that took care of it already left because it happened in the morning. But the neighbors didn't call right away. They decided, they were contemplating, should we call, should we not call, should we call? They finally decided to call us, but they didn't call us in the morning, they called us in the afternoon.
Oh.
It was funny. I got scared.
That is
And
funny.
then my partner screamed.
That is funny.
But I don't know which one was more scared, us or the cat. Because the cat was sleeping under the blanket, and it looked like a baby that was sleeping under a blanket. But it was a pretty big cat. It was probably this big. It was kind of a fat cat, and fat cats don't move very fast. But that one did, because it got really scared. Yeah, it was funny. So I got scared.
Yeah.
That is
Like-
a funny story.
Like, if I was walking one way and my mom was walking one way, both colliding each other, we could get scared, like, ah!
Oh yeah, anybody
Because
gets
that
scared.
Because that did happen once.
That's funny. Well, you asked some great questions, but I wanted to bring you those. Those are stickers that you can decide to put wherever, or you can hold on to them. And it's up to you. But that's a little gesture of thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you for coming over. I learned a lot today about polices. Would you like to tell something to people who want to become polices?
Yes, that is a great question, because I'm glad you said that. So if you are interested, or anybody else that's interested in law enforcement, it is a great career field. I have been doing this for nearly 23 years now. So I've been doing this a long time. I'm getting towards the end of my career when I'm getting ready to retire, but every day as a police officer is exciting because every day is different. Every day is not the same day. So you handle and see different things every day. And the cool thing is you get to work in the daytime, you can work at the nighttime, or maybe you decide, hey, I want to be a detective, you can do that. Or maybe I might want to be a SWAT person or a collision investigator. You can kind of pick where you want to go. So every day is different, and you get to meet great people. They become family, and we work together as teams. And the whole purpose of us doing our job is because it's a great thing that we're really close and friends, and we make friends and they're like family. But the great thing is we get to serve the community, and we help the community and provide safety measures and education to the community to stay safe as well. So, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So I've been doing this for a long time, but every day seems like a new, rewarding, happy, challenging day. It is challenging. There are some challenges, but overall, it's been a great career, and every day's a good day. So,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
yeah, I guess so.
it's a fun job.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in law enforcement.
She wants to probably take a look at the